Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents number 19, all by myself. That is me, Yule Carter. Let me get this off here so you can see my name. There you go, Yule Carter. I am the owner of Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California. Let me get that up for you so that ATN won't get upset in the future. Oh yeah, I put it right here. You can get our phone number there too. But I am not at the store, and if I were, don't call me now. I'm not set up for that kind of thing. If I were to be, though, that would be pretty cool, I think. So if someone knows how to work with StreamYard to make that happen, maybe you would let me know. Because I'm not going to look into it right now. Although I think there is a way. Anyway, we have been open for a week. Right now we are just running Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. If you call ahead because you're running a little late, if you're nice to us, we might stick around. Probably we will stick around because not everybody has been able to get around to us yet, and it's slow going still. Send out emails to let people know that, hey, we're open and you've got holds. Are you interested? And of course, like we expected, there were some people that said, money's running a little tight. So maybe if you could just cancel us right now. And that is, something, like I said, Jeff and I talking about it. That's my brother, Jeff, and I talking about it. Thought, it was going to happen, unfortunately. But it's not that big a deal. Is there a curfew in Berkeley? I think there is a curfew in Berkeley, but I think it's probably like 8. Isn't that what it is down in LA or something like that? I think I've heard. Hopeful. Oh, look, Facebook. Yes. Awesome. This is our first broadcast on Facebook, everybody. Woo! Pretty awesome, I think. And look, Jaffer Jones is in the chat. Excellent. So let's say hi to chat. We've got Fantinuum with his yo's and Coffee Junkie and Jaffro. That's my brother. About to eat dinner. What are you going to have if you're still in chat? Like I said, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Nice to see you. And let's see. Jill. Hey, Jill. How's it going? And Howard. Oh, Corey. Hey, Corey. Oh, 6 p.m. in LA. Woo. Well, I was home by 6. So either way, I'm golden, I think. And, I'm a business owner. And Howard says, 8 p.m., 5 a.m. Of course, you go the other route. Excellent. All right. So, unfortunately, the title, or fortunately for you all, the title all by myself is incorrect. We actually have another person, and let's introduce Jeff to the show. Jeff, how are you?
I'm great.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness somebody's wearing a Fantastic Comic shirt.
Berkeley, CA.
Yeah, Berkeley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. I always envisioned being able to have like an opening, do you know who Jim Ladd is by any chance? He's an LA DJ. And he kind of had one of those voices, and he was the late night DJ.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it was a rock station, but I'm gonna talk philosophically, emotionally about the music.
That was ASMR before we knew what ASMR was.
About how this pertains to the world. I know there's a lot of unrest out there right now, and that kind of stuff. And then he'd lead into like a Doors song or something.
I was on the stone.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be my ideal opening. I'd have to probably have taken the cam off, so maybe I would do this picture. I think an older, more pensive looking Yule, maybe.
Oh.
And I'd say hi to everybody.
Well, hello.
He did play a lot of Doors. And of course,
everybody
at the end of his show, about the 10-minute mark, that's when you played the end.
Oh, is that where you got it from?
That is exactly
you
where I got
that.
it from.
All right.
I did. I stole it. I admit. Hey there, Diablo Hashcraft. How are you doing?
Hey there,
yeah.
Blimpy boy.
Lamb and beef gyro with chicken and how do you say that? Adana kebabs?
Wow,
what's Adana?
That's a lot of meats.
Oh,
lamb
is that a meat?
lamb and beef and chicken. That's 3 meats where I'm coming from.
Yeah. Well, it's a gyro, so it's all stuffed in a thing, right? Oh, he said kebab. Oh, and Adana kebabs.
Let me see.
Or see, there you go. He's not using his commas. It's confusing me. Never mind.
Hi, coffee junkie.
Oh, it's a plate. Yeah.
And happy birthday. Belated.
Yes, happy birthday. Well, actually, I got that one. Finally,
you did.
For once. Yeah, and it was 50-ish of people actually witnessed this. So, I mean, hey. How big was that? Adana kebab. One of my favorite kebabs.
Yeah, me too. I'm actually about to experiment with making my own.
Oh, is that what you have at your disposal kebab. Right there?
No, not right now. I have a plan to make one. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna make
you have food by you, right?
And then char it under the broiler, so it gets all brown and crispy. We'll see how it goes.
All right, very good. You'll get back to us on that one.
I will. Yes.
Boy, do we have a jam-packed show for everybody today. Woo! We have brand new comic books. I got video of the shelf. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do that right now. Let me just
roll that beautiful new shelf footage.
I will. There it is. I just want to take the sound down so I can't hear it.
Roll that clip.
Roll that clip.
Do we have the clip?
We have the clip? We have the clip. Come on, monkey in the back. Start that. Here we go. Oh, look. Action Comics is coming out tomorrow, 10/22. Have you noticed? Look at how they have the the 10/22 is just by itself. It's kind of weird looking.
What do you mean?
We'll see a comic from the week before. Let's see.
Just by itself.
Well, I don't know. I think DC changed the way it looks. Anyway, Aquaman, Avengers. Bang is from last week or 2 months ago. As is Basket Full of Heads, but at the same time, we're going to get number 7. So those of you who like Joe Hill comic books. And look, Birds of Prey. It's a back label story. It's Brian Azzarello and Emanuela Lupacino. Whatever. Something like that. Lupacino with the J. Scott Campbell cover. Oh, look, Detective is coming out. That's the third part of a Two-Face story. I have the other 2 issues.
Is that still Tomasi?
It is. And it's good.
I bet it is. I mean, come on, dude. Tomasi he's good. He's good. That might be my next thing that I'm going to read is actually Rebirth Superman.
Oh, those are excellent.
The beginning, the Tomasi.
So good.
The Tomasi years.
Yeah.
Before what's his name came around.
We'll talk. Well, you mean
the man
Bendis,
who should not be named? Well, you named him.
That action. No, I'm willing to say the name and look in the mirror 3 times. I mean, come on, it's Bendis. You know,
that's 2 times. That's enough.
And you know what? This camera is like a mirror. So if I say it again, let's hope he doesn't have another issue of something come out later. All right. Batman and the Outsiders by Brian Edward Hill, the writer nobody in our store actually reads, except for a few people. He's good.
I read some of his stuff.
We sold Killmonger well, but that kind of had movie implications. Batman Beyond comes out.
That was good. Wait, you didn't sell Michael Cray well? I bet not.
It was all right. It was not that big. Not that. I mean, the art wasn't as great also. Batman Beyond's coming out. Batman giant-sized 100-page Batman family story. The Joker or the Curse of the White Knight is from months ago, as is that Batman Superman 8. And there's number 9 tomorrow, new. Woo. That's an alternate cover. It's like Michael Janin, I think.
Michael Shannon?
Janin, J-A. All right, so Black Panther is not new. Books
I did read that. Well,
did.
I mean, I did read that one, though.
Well, I mean, it's new to you.
It's new to me.
All right, so
because it's been sitting in a box somewhere for several months.
It has. And, this Books of Magic number 19 hasn't. And, we get these pieces of paper from Diamond saying how they're really trying to change and be a big deal. So I fanned all of these out for you on one spot so you could see how curled they are. Look at that.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yep.
They haven't changed. They haven't changed at Diamond.
No, of course
not. Hey, The Boys comes out. Maybe you saw that TV show. And 2 Buffys. Yeah. Oh, Catwoman 22 and 80th anniversary edition. And I'm big on Copra.
What's pause it for a sec.
All right.
What's that 80th anniversary edition Catwoman all about?
It's a bunch. They're doing that so that they can get $10 from people.
Sure, of course. So does it have any new stuff in it?
Yes,
or no?
It has new stories by all sorts of different people.
As well as reprints?
I don't believe any reprints.
Oh, wow.
And
that's cool.
I think Ed Brubaker does a story in this. I'm not 100% there, but I think that is the case. Yeah, exactly.
Rubes coming back to the majors.
They must have dug that one up and found it. That's what I'm thinking. It was in
somebody's desk drawer. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
If you haven't been reading Copra, this is a jump-on issue. Just read it. It's like a comic from the old days when you can do that kind of thing. And then there's Critical Role and Daphne Byrne. Look at all these books. Death and Glory, I think, was last week.
Daphne Byrne, is she related to John Byrne?
No, David Byrne was the joke I was going for last time.
Okay.
Farmhand, Far Sector. We did a video on that.
Far Sector, very good. My Far Sector was a little rolled, actually.
2 Flashes. Because, they come out bi-weekly. And since we didn't get 2 weeks ago books, because that was our first week open, now we're getting them both at the same time.
Is that still Joshua Williamson after all this time?
He's almost done with his run.
When did it start?
Didn't he do all of Rebirth?
I feel like he did, but that's so many issues.
It is. Well, it's not 700.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just joking. Yeah, I didn't think you thought that.
Well, that's like the Wolverine 800. It's like,
right, exactly.
Wasn't there just a number 1 like 8 months ago?
All right, Frankenstein Undone, if you like Mignola's stuff. And then another shelf down, we've got, that was from last week, but The Goon is new. And I'm a big fan of the Green Lantern series by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp.
Wait, when did that come out?
This week.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, because I wasn't. That's because
it's tomorrow. Tomorrow's when
exactly.
It comes out. Or or it came out last week, something like that. But
whatever.
We're caught up now. We're caught up.
We're in the present day.
That's a reprint of Hell Arisen number 3. You can get all the issues at our store now.
Hell Arisen. Is Year of the Villain still happening? Has that not concluded yet?
Well, it might have.
I'll be honest, I didn't follow it.
If stores could open.
No, all right, but what I'm saying is
no, it's not over. I felt that way before this series started.
It feels like it's been going on for a long time.
Oh, well, I do believe death metal is still part of it. So
oh wow.
Yeah. Here's Hellblazer, everybody. Yeah. Don't think about it too much. Okay, we're almost done. We got 2 more shelves. So we cut our shelves down from the big place to the small place from 6 to 4. So, maybe at the end you can tell me if you still think there's a lot of new material. These 2 are not new.
25 or 6 to 4?
25, 6 to 4. Yeah, 6 to 4.
Is that a good Chicago reference?
6 to 4. Yeah, something like that. Justice League is new. Justice League Dark is not. Either is Odyssey, but we only got it a couple days ago. Ooh, I hear The Lost God is really good, but I haven't read it. So
I know that they're coming out with a 5th edition campaign module that takes place in the world of The Last God. So if you like the comic and you play 5th edition D&D, you might want to look into that because there's a book coming out.
Well, I know there's at least a couple people in chat that are interested in Dungeons and Dragons, and who knows? I mean, like I said, this is not a gamer that told me it was good, and there you go.
Yeah, I haven't.
It looks good. It looks pretty, but I didn't read it.
It definitely looks pretty. And I was looking at some of the art from the module that had stats and shit. Mm-hmm. I don't know what any of the creatures meant, but it looked cool as hell.
Right. Well,
and I always loved being able to introduce characters and elements from stuff that I've read into my D&D campaigns. Whenever you got the stats for Drist or something, it was always cool.
Wow, Lul Stamp's in chat, and if you're all appreciating what we're doing, Lul Stamp, maybe you might hit a thumbs up for once.
Oh,
Lois Lane comes out, everybody. Ludocrats. Marauders.
Oh, a new Marauder. Oh,
Mercy number 2. All right, so Mercy number 2. You might want to buy this one if you're interested in the series, because in this new store, in this new environment, in this new, I don't want to sit on waste anymore. I'm not getting 3rd if you don't get the 2nd one, you see. And of course, going back to Diamond not changing, Metal Men, we only get the alternative cover, which of course I order less of. So wait a couple days, I might get that box in. Ooh, the Nailbiter returns, Joshua Williamson, and a reprint of Nightwing 70. That's not new. That's not new, but it's good. Our Fighting Forces, I only got a couple of them. Outcast, Out of Darkness, Chew. Those 2 aren't new. And then lastly, oh, look at that car. Mm-hmm. Oh, Psychodrama Illustrated. Love and Rockets, guys.
Oh, yeah, Gilbert, baby. Yep, looks like it.
Not new, not new, not new. So I'm keeping some older things up. Sabrina's new. And I'm actually bringing some of the children's stuff or all ages stuff over in Scooby-Doo. Shazam's out. I'm a real big fan of the Spider-Man stuff right now.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to talk about the previous issue.
You have come around.
Yeah, I have. These are all new. Suicide Squad's actually pretty good. I have enjoyed Tom Taylor in the small doses that I've had when he does DC comic books. I personally wasn't a fan of any of his Marvel run.
That's not true.
Yeah,
you liked that Wolverines.
Oh, you know what? In the beginning of All New Wolverine, I did like that. You're right. You're right.
It was good.
Swamp Thing. I think the story is still by Mark Russell, the main story. I enjoyed the first issue. I thought it was really horror styled,
Mark Russell has been getting a lot of play in these big, giant 100-issue things.
Yeah. Well, he tells a good story that is bite-sized.
Succinct.
It's succinct. Yeah. You don't have to read another one, but, if you enjoy it, you're going to want to. That type of stuff. Teen Titans. This is one of my favorite DC comics going right now. Vengeance of Vampirella. I don't read it. Venom. I don't read it. Witchfinder. Oh, here we go. Here's Diamond again. So Wonder Woman, I got the alternative cover of 755, which I get less of. So if you come in to get that, hurry. Or 756, which comes out today. I got that.
The regular cover of that.
And then these last 3 are from last week. And that's the entirety of our new rack at Fantastic Comics tomorrow. Run, don't walk. And I'll stop sharing. I'll stop sharing with y'all. All right, that's what I'm going to actually do is I have my voice over it, and I kind of run through it really quick. And what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to have a neat little clip that I'm going to do for YouTube. It's nice to have like a 3-minute thing. It helps. I hear.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's what I hear. If I could do graphics and thumbnails a little bit better, or at all, I probably could help the channel even more. But right now, I'll just fiddle with Facebook and YouTube and some of the other things I do, and then work on it as we go along.
Sure.
Everybody, take cover. All right, let me blunt myself off camera. Yeah, that's the way to do it. All right. It's hot here. I don't know how it is over where you are.
Warm.
Is it warm for everybody else out there?
Hot enough for you?
All right. So we have Craig. All right. So he says the jury is still out on the thumbs up. Maybe this will be better for him.
What does that mean?
I said,
as
give
to
a
whether
thumbs
or
up.
not this has earned a thumbs up. Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay.
It's a bit
well,
early.
no, not. It was.
I mean,
really
I usually
more for ATN.
I usually throw a thumbs up out before.
That's how I do it.
As soon as you announce the show, I'll throw a thumbs up out, and then if I happen to feel differently, I'll take it away.
Right. All right. So I'm gonna
transparency. That's the most important thing.
It is. So we have a customer who is buying bags and boards, and that's what he mostly is buying. And it's because,
mostly, you mean, as opposed to comic books?
As opposed to comics. He's our customer to buy bags and boards.
Hey.
Mostly. He actually,
when you already got the comics, you always still need bags and boards. That's
exactly. And I said that's
how they get you.
So as I was doing some of the shows on YouTube, other shows out there on YouTube during the quarantine, I was telling people, I think the most important thing a store could carry right now is bags and boards. Screw Batman. Everybody
preserve the comics you already have.
Especially if I was like opening a store right now. Oh man, do I need some comic books? Just get bags and boards. That other stuff will sort itself out. Anyhow, this customer is getting the bags and boards because he is selling a person's collection. And his collection is like from the 60s all the way to like 1999, I think. So there's a lot of crap, obviously. And already people have like gone through all the key issues and all the Spider-Man is gone, and that kind of stuff. But he said, "Oh, I have Valiant." And I was thinking, "Whoa, you have late 90s Valiant?"
You love it.
Well, there is really
do you have
hard...
any milestone?
No, he did not. And I asked.
Bummer.
I know, exactly. I did. I was like, then I said, "Don't lie to me. Did you have milestone?" And he said, "No." And I'm all, thank goodness. Well, thank you. Thank you. Maybe when I say don't lie to me, I might be saying lie to me. But then he pulled out all these underground comic books. And like I was picking up some elementals.
Like they were all covered in dirt.
No, well, he's bagging and boarding everything.
Yeah.
But no, there are. So anything that was like really thrashed, he put $1 on it. Except I bought the Spain one that was thrashed, and that was $3. So if you're into like Valiant or you want like a whole set, and he's even put sets together, he has a pretty good pricing, and he'll work with you anyway. He's trying to move this stuff. Sure. And you can get a lot of really cool stuff because this dude's been collecting everything for a long time. The only thing is, Carl has to go through everything. So you could go and pick through, but if you want to know what he has. Oh, by the way, so let me show you some of the things I got. This is California Comics. Here, I'll make myself big. Tell me what you think of this cover. It's pretty cool. And let's see here. Oh, this is a dirty cover. This is all Canadian Beaver comics.
Wait, these are that previous one with the dude hitting the pipe.
Beaver.
That was Beaver comics.
Yeah, this is
what comic is it?
California Comics.
California. Oh, dope.
Yeah, a lot of these are from here, but not all of them.
What year is it from?
Well, this one is from 1980s. 73. The cover
Nice.
74.
All right.
So yeah, that's pretty neat. I was just
Very
buying
neat.
stuff because I'm there. I don't want to waste his time. I don't want to waste my time. Here's that Spain one. What is that? Mean bitch. Yeah. Oh my god, this stuff is wild. Look at it. They're like mud wrestling right here. Kill that bitch.
Kill that bitch.
Spain, R.I.P. And look at this. This beaver one is like, falling apart. But I had to get that because it's messed up. Last Gasp, Commies from Mars.
Oh,
These are all like
nice.
sci-fi stories, and it's got what is that? S.K. Wilson back. I think if I got that right. And it's just like all the
Howard
stuff you would expect to see. Yeah, Howard will correct me in the comments. How dare you, Yule? So I was in. So one of the. Let me get this up so I can tie it in all together. So one of my favorite shows to listen to or channels is Comics by Perch. He's a store owner or former store owner, and he is going to be owning a store again. But he's been talking about all sorts of like other comics in video also, along with talking about the industry and all that other stuff. And he did like a predecessor to Itchy and Scratchy, and I can't remember. Squeak and something. Again, Howard would probably correct me on that. And they're like chopping each other up. It's like Tom and Jerry, Itchy and Scratchy, and it's just wild. And there's a lot of like sex and stuff. Anyway, I chatted in there. Something that also that happened that I remember was Uncensored Mouse. And I said, but I never read it. And then I bought this at that guy's place yesterday. And it's just the Floyd Gottfredson Mickey Mouse stuff that I am now carrying with the Fantagraphics label. So, I mean, they're kind of racy and racial, but not so much that there's a black cover and the kid would be like, oh, wow, what's that all about?
Sure.
And then I got Kingdom of Evil. This is pretty sweet. It's pretty like effed up stuff. Oh, I'm holding it upside down.
Sick.
Pretty effed up stuff. 666. I got some Captain Confederacies who can pass those up. Epic Comics put that out. So that's Marvel Comics, sir.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I got The Law. This comic book.
Jim Shooter. What?
This comic book right here is... This was hilarious. There's this whole... the art's not very good. And it's all an introduction about how this guy got all mangled in the face right there. He basically wanted to blow his brains out after he got this guy off, in court. Actually, he got it so that he could have custody of his kid, and then he goes and kills his kid. And so the dude goes and murders him, and then he is going to go and blow his brains out. And it's very violent, but it was hilarious. All right, here we go. Here's my favorite things that I found. And I need the other issues. So if Craig's watching, I need them. This is issue 2 and 4. I need issue 1 and 3 of New York City Outlaws. Oh my God. This stuff was great. Look at this. Is that awesome or what?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Trust me, it's awesome. I went to my comic shop immediately and they don't have anything. Anyway, there's only like 4 or 5 issues, but I need them. Here's like, I think it's a pro-Christian comic book, but it also seems like it's not because it's funny to me. Anyway, it's called A to Z. Isn't that funny?
I mean, I get it.
Look, all these names. I know Dick Ayers and Nestor Redondo and Kerry Gamble.
Steve Lytle.
Yeah, Steve Lytle does a whole... He draws more for this than he did in his entire DC career.
Ayo!
Ayo! And more. Look at this. Yeah, well, rebuke this, Jesus freaks. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Yeah, anyway. That's something I got. I got Berserkly Comics number 10.
Oh.
This came out in 82. That's messed up stuff. I got Cocaine Comics.
Nice.
Another Last Gas production.
Last Gas.
I got Cherry #3. You know how I like Cherry.
I know how you love Cherry. With
And I got
hats off.
It's gonna go on the spinner rack, and I got some hates for my spinner rack also. So all in all, I had a pretty good time on my show and tell for my books for that, and that's what I did. Boom. Come back to me, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm back.
So maybe that for at least Craig. If
Craig
anybody
says no more NYC Outlaws. Sorry, buddy.
I bought the only 2. Oh man, dude.
You're just gonna have to start trolling the world.
I am excited to try, but nonetheless, I'm gonna pour through those, and I'm very excited. Hey, look, Mark's in the chat. Hey, Mark. No, Fantinuum.
Yeah, Fantinuum. That was earlier this evening.
So, no, stop that, guys. That's disgusting. Comics? Anyway, no, the thing about Cherry is that when I worked for Tony Love at his comic store in Southern California, he introduced me to Cherry. Actually, I knew about it, but it was something I didn't porno comics.
Tony Love.
That was the name of the guy that owned the comic store. Yeah.
Don't let Tony Love introduce you to porno comics, dude. That sounds like just a bad trip. That's
Tony Love was hilarious.
Tony Love.
Yeah, man. We used to smoke out of his bong in the back room and
flip
play poker
Cherry
play poker. And he'd be like, hey. He was really into the Drawn and Quarterly books and Cherry Pop Tart.
How do you feel about titties?
He also liked Star Trek Next Generation.
There you go.
There you go. See?
I'm a DS9 guy. I'm just saying.
All right. Hate comics in the spinner rack. Yeah. Without it, this spinner rack, everybody puts their like really expensive ones. You know, if you see Rob Liefeld's, it has like all his like X-Men's that he had as a kid and stuff like that.
Oh, not his own comics.
But I'm like, no, these are the ones. No, well, no, he puts the good ones up. Whoa, heyo.
Bam.
Heyo. Flaming Carrot's one of my favorites right there, without a doubt. Up on the top, if you see Enigma.
Carrot is awesome.
Enigma's one of my... So when I'm defending 90s comics, it's mostly like things like Enigma.
Sure.
Such a great book.
Have to accept that is not what people are talking about when they are generally deriding 90s comics.
Right.
It's not that type of shit.
Well, no, that's true.
They're talking about like 90s Marvel stuff and even like the 90s Image stuff. I mean, I know that there's a huge segment of the comics fandom that like those are their books. Like they grew up on that 90s shit and like the Wild Storm, like, you know, Wildcats and Youngblood. They're like, that was the shit when I was a kid. Youngblood was coming out. Spawn was awesome and I fucking loved it. And I'm like, that's great. But like, I think when that stuff was coming out, I was like, it was a turnoff to me where I was like, oh, maybe comics, not so much. And like, so it took Enigma and that type of stuff to make me say, oh, well, no, comics doesn't just have to be like machine gun steroid freaks. Like that isn't everything that comics is.
But it can be.
It can be. Oh, yeah. No doubt. Splat will tell you. Splat will give it to you hard on
baby,
both the steroid and the machine gun front.
Well, I did Team Youngblood last week. It was a Keith Giffen story, but it had a lot of splat in that book, so I made sure to pay close attention to it so everybody could see it. And I kind of like, you know, that was the juxtaposition that, you know, this was what people think of when they think of the 90s, you know, chicks with their boobs out. This is mainstream comics I'm talking about. Chicks with their boobs out here, small bikinis. And if they didn't have a small bikini, Just
The
wait, there's a
fucking-
swimsuit issue.
No, exactly what I was just about to say.
Sorry.
the swimsuit
I had to
issue.
monologue that one.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right though.
Craig, let me tell you,
Bullshit.
I don't know anything about Rory breaking any glass because he would have had to pay for it.
I know a breaking
But
glass
I
story
know
though.
twice I was involved with glass breaking.
I know
Once-
at least one of those stories.
Once, and I swear to God, this was not in a fit of anger or anything like that. I took a box of comics and I put it on the counter like we always do. And I must have just put it in the right spot and it just went it just went all over the place. And it's where like the statues were and stuff like that. We probably stupidly were working on it and years went by, but I just like stupidly put it down haphazardly. And then there was another time when there was a bum in the store and I told him to move along and he closed with me and there was pushing and my whole elbow went into the glass case where the where his Eisner Award sat, I think. And
the pencil, I think, was in there too. No,
I think that was up high.
no, that you're right. That was back.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
But yeah, the psh, and then my elbow, and then Branwen took
like-
a picture of it. I think it's on the the Comic Relief page.
Mhm.
Oh, that's so funny. That's the first time I might have ever said Fantastic Comics instead of Comic Relief when I meant to say it the other way around. So yeah,
Wait,
I was involved with 2 classes breaking.
That was the day when Oppendike came in and got involved, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't
he
that
came
that
in
same
and did
day?
his. So my brother and I. Wait, no, it wasn't my brother and I. It was me and Todd, I assume.
Yeah,
we had him down, and I remember we had him down, and I'm like, "You made me bleed," and I'm like, knee him in the side. Todd's all, stop. And then we knew the cops were coming, but someone went next door to Half Price Books, and Brian, right?
Yeah.
Brian came in, and he's like 6'5", and I don't mean fat.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
And he's like an MMA guy.
He had like 4 inches on me. Like he's a tall dude.
So like, I mean, I look at him, I'm like, oh.
And yeah, like at that time, that was when he was like fighting. Like he was in literally fighting shape because he was like flying to Thailand to like have MMA bouts and then flying back and working like the next day.
So
Like,
Todd and I are struggling with this guy to keep him down. I'm kicking him, you know, all that stuff. And then Brian comes in and he's just like, you know, and then it's like, he's not moving.
and then what he told me was that then when the cops finally got there, they just handed him the cuffs.
Yeah, they did.
And said, "It looks like you got this. Why don't you just put these on him?"
Oh, the Berkeley police.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. You know, downtown Berkeley, not that I'm like, you know, I'm trying to court disaster or anything, but if you want to go to our old location, whatever. Nothing. I mean, it's like such a ghost town. Nobody is even like thinking of going and like protesting or rioting in downtown Shattuck or anything like that. Thinking of like all the those. Remember when they did and like the banks, they just like messed up all the ATM machines and everything.
But everything worth looting is down at 4th Street. So there's nothing downtown worth looting.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. It is such a shithole down there.
Everything's been closed up and boarded up for so long. Like,
I mean, I just like, you know, man, this is like some really crazy stuff. Very upsetting that like downtown Shattuck is not even like lootable.
Yeah.
Like I remember when they were having, you know, previous marches down the street, we were like standing out and wondering what's going to happen, you know. And
Half Price we had a window broken by somebody throwing a bottle like during the Occupy times.
Right, exactly.
Somebody threw a glass bottle, like a beer bottle, through the front window.
And it was one of the curved ones, right?
Of course.
Oh, of course, the most expensive one.
The most expensive and weakest of the glass. Oh, whatever.
It is all street construction down there. That is what I'm saying. And what I'm saying also is that
I'm going to leave you on your own for a second.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I'll make myself big. What I'm saying right now is that downtown Shattuck sucks. Downtown Berkeley, Shattuck Avenue, it sucks. And, you know, they're even talking about closing off the streets so that they could try and get people to sit outside for some of the restaurants. And I'm not slamming all of Berkeley when I'm saying it. I'm just saying this. And I remember when we first moved into the store, it was probably like a half a year or a year later when they started coming by with like, it wasn't petitions, but it was like, you know, paperwork to let you know that this is their planned idea of what they wanted to do with the streets. And that was in 2011, 2012, basically. And now they are only now, you know, getting the streets going, and they fixed them. And now they're in them again. And it's like sewage and all this other stuff that they have to fix. And Berkeley has been all during this time really trying to promote more of a, hey, come on in and, you know, come for the culture, stay for the dinner or whatever, you know, maybe the other way around. It really doesn't matter. It's a stupid corporate slogan is what it feels like. And it's the only thing they really want you to do. They had put signs up that were saying like, oh, you know, if you go a little bit down this way, you can get some comics, you get some books, but there's less and less stores like that. And it's just eating, you know, get some Indian, get some Thai, get some boba, you know, here we have Kamal, and you know what? Kamal next door, right next to where we were. And man, there's no parking out there. But if you come to our new address, and let me bring that up for everybody. If you come to our new address, there is free parking. There's free parking, and if you get a good spot, you can stay for 2 whole hours. Just not inside our store because you know how it is.
There ain't no room for you for 2
There
hours.
ain't no room, and not only that, you got to wear a mask. You know all that stuff. It's funny. But yeah, so and you can get parking. It's much better. And you can call ahead and I can pull this stuff aside so you don't even have to enter the store. We did have a customer say, hey, you know, and he was on Facebook. He messaged us. Are you guys going to be wearing your mask? Because the last time we came in, you didn't have it in. And I'm like, oh, goodness. I'm like, you know, we're moving and we're doing all this stuff and we're trying to get everything going all at the same time. It slipped our attention. Sorry about that. It won't happen again. But, you know, when you're in the store all day long, it's like, got to get this thing off my face. If we were like doing, you know, it is hard. But we, for the most part, do that kind of stuff. I don't like to not have it on.
Yeah. But it also is hard to breathe occasionally if you're moving boxes of comics or bookshelves or whatever you're doing. I mean, I can tell you from experience.
Right. You can come up to the doorway and I'll actually let you in the shop. I'll probably stand aside and Jeff will be in there. Not this one, but the other one. Yeah. So, you know, it's how do you go to a comic store and not want to look around? We're just not, don't like, you know, thumb through everything. You
there's just not that much to look at either. Like, honestly, there's not that much to look at. You look at this is not the time to be digging through the crates. So like, come in,
not at all. Yeah.
Know what you want, get the stuff and get out. Like that's the world that we're currently living in. It sucks, but it's true. Like I have a hard time shopping online because I'm like, you know, I'll drive past a place or I'll see an ad online where I'm like, oh, that place is still open. I would like to support them, but I want to go. I need to go in there and look around and know what I want before I'll know what I want to buy. So I'm trying to retrain myself to be able to say like, this is a store that I want to support while this shit is happening. So I'll just have to figure out what I want from them and buy it, and then either go and pick it up or get it delivered to me.
Right.
You know, it's a different world from where you're coming from.
No, it is. It is. Let me answer this question. Have I been on that Dan Shaheen show yet? I have watched it. I hear there's an episode tonight.
He's cool.
Mark Wade's going to be on it. I'm sure that chat, if you like live chat and you like people that are going to talk smack about somebody, woo-hoo-hoo, that should be a good show. I am so C-list sequential geek. I've been on some shows that have a lot of, like, I've been doing interviews and sometimes some shows with Thinking Critical. We actually did a video that was put together by them. I was a part of it, barely. I'm just being interviewed. Over 4,000 people have watched that. So, I mean, you know, there's been some things that I've been on that people will know my name. But for the most part, I'm like, you know, what? Who's a C-list superhero? Daredevil. Ant-Man. Oh, shit.
Also Daredevil. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, we could talk about this in the chat also. Sure. Yeah, Daredevil. You know, you love Daredevil. You love Yule. You want to see more Yule, and if you do, what you should do is
Dr. Fate. I always want to see more Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
There's never enough Dr. Fate.
If you want to see more of me, tomorrow at 5 o'clock on Critical Blast, I'll be interviewed with a couple of other store owners. We get together every other week and talk about what it's been like as COVID, you know, is going and what's going on with Diamond and all the shipping and all that other stuff. And Jill B. Pill says it's a pretty good interview with those guys and me. So, yeah, you might do that.
Do I trust her? Not sure.
I don't know. She is.
She's biased.
No, she's more.
Well, I guess if anything, she's biased against you.
Yeah, exactly.
So if she says it's good, those other guys must be pretty good.
I don't know, Craig. You know, I feel Daredevil is a low-list character who's had extremely awesome people working on it.
Daredevil has, but that's what has made him a B. He's now a B. Like, he's a C-list character who has become D-list. All right, forget it. I was agreeing with you, bro, and now I'm out.
See, Dr. Fate takes skill, but is usually great. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, this is the thing.
You can't come into a Keith Giffen house and say something bad about Dr. Fate.
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, because a Keith Giffen house is at least half of a DeMatteis house. So, therefore, we have to forgive all of that Dr. Fate stuff. Not forgive. Embrace.
Exactly.
Good stuff. Sean McManus, right? For a while. That's
Sean McManus. Yeah, sure. And before that, Walt Simonson worked on it with someone help me out. Anyhow, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Dr. Fate's cool. He wore a fucking helmet.
Yes, he did.
With no mouth.
No mouth.
That makes you cool.
It does.
If you don't have a mouth, you're cool. Ask Zen the Intergalactic Ninja. He'll tell you.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't need a mouth to be cool.
Also, if you want to know more about things that I say that can potentially upset you or pictures, you go follow me on Twitter or Instagram. Those are the... Oh, I also have a YouTube channel. I think I'm going to be interviewing Rick Worley on it soon.
The
Rick Worley. Dude. All right, everybody. Rick Worley. RickWorley. It's on YouTube.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you know this answer to this question? Any relation to the Omaha Worleys? Omaha the cat dancer?
Oh, is that? Oh, the I don't think so. But maybe.
No?
I don't know. It's kind of weird. He has a brand new video that's already got over 30,000 views. Would you like to know what the topic is?
30. Is that a lot?
Yeah,
I don't know.
A lot.
I mean, compared to 60, yeah, it's a lot.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Hey!
No way. I think 30,000 is amazing. And not only that, he's not out there whoring himself like so many people are out there. You know, he's just doing it, putting it out there. He has like a Patreon, and you know, he does some Twitter stuff, but overall, it's not excessive. I mean, I follow him.
So for his Patreon, does it involve like like personal art stuff?
Well,
like
on that Star Wars show that we
commissions.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he says he does a lot of porno graphic stuff for people.
I wasn't gonna specifically say that,
He
but
totally
that's what I
said
meant.
that.
That's definitely what I meant.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've read his comics, so
exactly. He has no problem with that whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Jessica
and
Jones
there's money to be made in that sector. Let's not fuck around. Like,
oh no. J. Scott Campbell has a job for a reason.
Commission porno art is like,
oh, and porno. I'm like, you could just do it titillating style, but yeah, it's super. Yeah, I mean, they're out there. And I mean, it was a little bit easier when like Tumblr was a thing, right? It's not quite the thing it is now.
Right, sure.
But Instagram doesn't play that game.
But there's still Twitter.
There is, yeah.
Twitter,
and I mean,
still,
and there's all that, stuff that goes on out there. Your OnlyFans and whatnot.
But I mean, I also think Patreon. Does Patreon not let you do porno art? I think it does. Like,
no, I
don't think they have a problem with whatever. Yeah, I think you can.
Well,
I don't know if you can do like live sex shows, but I think you can do anything where you're giving your patrons original art of your creation that is illustrations. I don't think they have a problem with it. I don't know though. I have no idea. But that's my understanding of why Patreon is so good for independent comic book creators. Is because of commissions.
Yeah, sure thing.
And you don't have to have an art like agent or whatever. You're getting people to pay you every month for not even original art, but exclusive digital content.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking awesome. I mean,
it is good.
I think it's great.
Mean, it's a thing. I mean, there's people that do, zines and stuff like that, or whatever you want to call them, little mini comics and all that stuff. And I am sad that I was not involved all those years ago when they were going on. I kind of just poo-pooed the concept and didn't realize that there was actually something more than just giving people lunch money and stuff like that. So yeah, Patreon. We're going to get new cameras someday or something like that. No, you know what we're doing. Loosely. Anybody that watches the show loosely knows what's going on. So yeah, let me get the Patreon thing. Oh, you know what? I think I got rid of it. Yeah, at the end of the show, I'll show you the list of people that give. And it's Fantastic Comics like everything else. Twitter, Instagram. I usually work more on the Instagram, but I've been doing some lighthearted commenting on Fantastic Comics. Plus, of course, or on the Twitter. Of course, we pimp the show when it comes out. Sometimes. Anyway. There you go. That's all the shilling I have for that. No more Critical Blast tomorrow. That's the big deal. So I'm leaving work early. So if anybody wants to see me, you better get in by like 2. Let me see here. Anything else I should know? Minis. Oh yeah. You and Craig should get together. You can sell fat dog stuff together. Anyhow, Jeff, were you interested in? I'm sorry, I shouldn't say anything while you're muted.
Go ahead.
Okay. Are you interested in talking about your Deathstroke?
Yeah.
Let me get a banner up for that.
Yeah. Do you want to start with Cap?
Oh, I mean, actually, I didn't put Deathstroke up. I did Cap instead.
Well, there you go.
Let me do this first. All right, everybody, bear with me just for a sec. But you mostly only gave me. Oh, I only have. I got the cap covers. That's what I did.
Right.
Oh, I see. So I actually got the covers in order. The few that I got, I didn't get all of them. So let me. I'm gonna make myself. I'm gonna stop my cam too. Let me do this one. There you go.
I'm just gonna kind of roll through my Captain America notes.
Yeah. So Captain America. Oh my God, poor Captain America. It was Nick Spencer.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Who made him a
Secret
Hydra
Empire.
agent.
Yeah, that's right. This is basically damage control from that. This is dealing with the fallout of everything from Secret Empire. For the most part. It's got great Alex Ross covers, which is I think what we're gonna primarily see because those are what's good. The covers are amazing. The writing is really great. It deals with the fallout from Secret Empire. You're bringing back, but in addition to dealing with everything that just happened in Secret Empire, he also reaches back to Brubaker because he brings back Alexander Lukin.
Mm-hmm.
And his daughter, or not his daughter, his wife is like one of the main baddies.
What is it, Selene? Is that what it is?
Selene, the previously an X-Men villain, right? Because she's a mutant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's like a vampire or something.
She's like like an energy vampire essentially, where she just like drains people's life energy in order to maintain her immortality. And I thought that she was on Krakoa, but maybe this starts before this book starts before that.
This was all right, so you had Secret Empire, and it's funny that this would be the damage. So there was a lot of rumor that Ta-Nehisi Coates was going to be taking over this book, and instead Mark Waid did. And Mark Waid had a couple of good issues, and then he took Cap in the far future, and that story sucked. And Chris Samney was not doing inspired artwork, and then he's soon to leave Marvel anyway. And so it felt like that was it was not even more. It wasn't even really a bridge from Ta-Nehisi Coates starting Black Panther to then take over Captain America. It was kind of saying, hey, any of you that were worried that we were gonna have Coates on the book, we put Mark Waid up instead. And of course, there's some people that aren't that keen on that either. But
I didn't read any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I barely read any of Secret Empire because I didn't like Nick Spencer already. I didn't like the idea of the story, and I didn't like the stuff that I read when it first started. So I mostly just like dipped in occasionally so that I would have factual knowledge upon which to talk shit on it.
Right.
So I didn't really read that. And then I didn't read any of the Mark Waid stuff.
So, and then after that, there was a Free Comic Book Day, and that was our first taste of Ta-Nehisi Coates and Leinil Yu on Captain America.
What a fucking tease.
We're
far enough in for me to say fuck now.
Oh, right? Yeah, sure.
What a fucking tease.
Yeah.
That Leinil Yu. I was like, oh, they're putting Leinil Yu on here.
Uh-huh.
That means like
and
they're invested in this, and whoever is following him up will probably be another good, like, he can do issues. Normally, I think he can probably do 8 issues in a row.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he did, though. I don't think he did on this.
I don't think so either. This was an obvious, hey, we're going to put somebody who we feel is really, really good on this book, and then we're going to move them on soon thereafter. Yeah, to launch it.
But it drops off so quick. It goes from Leinil Yu to Andy Kubert. Okay, which, I mean, I say what you will. I'm not a huge Andy Kubert guy myself, but he's at least a guy that people do like, and he is at
it wasn't
a certain
good
level.
Andy Kubert though. It felt rushed also. It felt like there was something going on that, he just wasn't putting his all into it.
No, I agree. It was
Yeah.
not. I mean, I don't love him, but when he does, like, okay, when they launched Ultimate X-Men, I think he was the initial artist, right?
Yeah.
That might have been my favorite Andy Kubert. I mean, I didn't care about the book at all, the story, or Mark Miller, but the art was the best Andy Kubert art that I had seen. But this is no good. And then it slides down to somebody named Jason Masters.
Jason Masters.
I don't know who he is, but he did a chunk of issues, and he is not for me. Let's just say that. He's not for me.
Right.
But, but the story is good. Like, I think it's got
what's
lots
it
of
about?
intrigue. It's got lots of intrigue, right? You start out with, you've got the power elite. These are the bad guys. They're a cabal of evil bigwigs who had previously, at the end of Secret Empire, they were the bad guys who had helped take down Hydra, right? So when the writing was on the wall, you had like Von Strucker and Selena and Wilson Fisk and a couple of other couple of these other baddies who were like, okay, we're gonna help freedom fight and we're gonna help take down the Hydra.
Yeah, over in Spider-Man.
And so when they did that, then they got rewarded for helping. So like Wilson Fisk ended up getting elected mayor of New York City at that time. And then these other people got like pardoned from their previous crimes and awarded with either government contracts or government positions. Thunderbolt Ross was one of these people. He was like a guy who had previously been persona non grata, and then he helped take down Hydra, and they were like, okay, you're cool again.
Huh.
And so they earned all these positions, and then they used their new influence to kind of make their moves to take over the whole show. Like they were like, okay, now we're going to just take over America because America is in a position where the people don't trust the government. The people don't trust the heroes. The people don't know what to do. The government is weak. All of the authoritarian institutions of America are weak because they've just been exposed as having been infiltrated by Hydra, and then Hydra was defeated. So they're like, we can just sweep into this power vacuum and take over everything. And to do so, one of their first move is like trying to get rid of Cap, because like,
and they get rid of his shield, right? I mean, they're like, hey, you can't be Captain America anymore, right?
Right. Basically, they put him in a position where he has to step down.
So who's Cap right now?
Well, there is no Cap.
Oh my gosh. So, all right. So
he goes back to being Steve Rogers. You can see in this cover that you got right here, number 16. He's got that like light up shield, the like glowing electric shield that he had.
Mark Waid, I think, had that one for him.
That was when he was Steve Rogers Super Soldier.
Yeah, then
while
too.
Bucky was still Cap. Was the most recent time he was using this.
Yeah, the most recent.
So he goes back to that same costume, the Steve Rogers Super Soldier costume, where he's not wearing the stars and stripes. He's just wearing like the big star on his chest and using that magic shield or science shield, whatever.
So I've been recently reading these issues, like 16, 17, 18, this Scourge storyline. And I have a question for you, because I don't know if you went farther than me or not, but do you think he's ultimately going to, at the end of this run, gain not only his shield back, but actually being able to be Captain America? Is that what this is all eventually leading to? And if that is the case, are we ever, because they're still bringing it up, are they ever going to be able to wipe away the stigma of Secret Empire?
Well, see, here's the thing. To answer your first question first, yes. To answer your second question, yes. Because I don't know if you've been I don't know what issues it was in, because I read them all kind of in a row. So I like recently, so I don't know. But the other Steve Rogers, the one with the Hydra tattoo on his chest, who was like in prison, the one who was
the real Steve Rogers,
the supreme commander of Hydra, he's out there and he got busted out of prison. So I
didn't know that.
He's out on the loose in the world. So like all of this is going to resolve. Like, I don't know. You've got Steve has got his team now. He's got this like cool super lady team, the Daughters of Liberty. I don't know if you
have
any of them.
Yeah,
and there was like I don't want to spoil anything, but there was like a big reveal in that in that department.
Okay.
Where the leader or one of the primary agents of the Daughters of Liberty, I mean, we knew from a while before, but Steve found out who she was, and it was like, dun, dun, dun.
So it's Misty Knight. I saw Spider-Woman when they were having
Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
Invisible Woman is there.
Yeah. It's like a BJ and the Bear and the Seven Lady Truckers is what it feels like.
Yeah, it goes back. They show that like one of the first so the leader of the Daughters of Liberty is like what is it? What is her name? I forget what her code name is. But like one of the first leaders was Harriet Tubman, I think.
Oh, really?
So like because they show a flashback back to like that far back.
Did she have a metal arm also?
No.
That would be sweet.
But yeah, no, but they got Black Panther showing up, obviously. He's like lending them the Wakandan jet. And it's not unlike the Black Panther and in fact the Deathstroke story also. Like the themes are all very similar in that they're about the main hero, who is usually a solo hero character, admitting to themselves that or figuring out that they can't do it alone and they need a team. Like that was very much one of the themes of Coates's Black Panther, where it's like he can't be like, he just isn't built to be a dictator. He can't be a king. He needs democracy. To be his best heroic Black Panther self, he needs a team of people around him that he can rely on, and like he puts them together. And Steve does the same thing. He doesn't actually do it himself. The team kind of forms around him to support him because he's in this place where he doesn't know what to do, because he's like, America doesn't believe in me. The government doesn't believe in me. Like he's in a place where he needs this support and he gives himself up to it. And they're like, look, here's our mission. Here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to earn back the trust of the nation or whatever.
Let me say one thing. During this storyline with the Scourge, there is riots ensuing, and is it DC? Is it everywhere? I don't even really remember because I was just kind of like going through it quick.
I think it's New York.
Mostly New York.
Most of the book like is New York City because that's like his base of operations for this book.
So there
classic
is
Marvel.
Yeah, there's some, there's some really classic Captain America also. I remember when I was watching Avengers for the first time on DVD, and Jill was like, "What? Who would even listen to this guy?" And she's talking about Captain America, and it was like she said that right as like the shit was hitting the fan in the movie. Like even if you didn't care for the movie, you knew that this was the moment where something had to happen. And Captain America came out and he gave a speech. You know, it was actually, he was more like barking orders in the movie. But in this comic book, he comes out and delivers a speech, and he's delivering it to the citizens. And before that, he's delivering it to the cop. And he's like, I know you think I'm this, and I know, you know, I might not deserve this, but I think I can help if you let me get it. And it's a really cool, stirring moment. And I think Ta-Nehisi Coates does a really good job of like speaking for Captain America at that moment. I think anybody
I agree.
The only thing that would have been better is this guy was wearing his freaking suit.
See, yeah, but there's the costume I'm talking about. Like that's the Steve Rogers costume that he wears for a big chunk of the like middle of this. Although I don't know how long this is going to go on. It seems like there's a ways to go. Based on, I don't know. Just based on the reading of it, it seems like it's not. There's a lot of loose threads still.
Sure thing.
But yeah, it's good. It's great. I like the political subtext. I know that's not for everyone, but there's a lot of obvious political subtext about taking your country back from fascists who were in power. About Russian interference in U.S. politics, because you've got like Alexander Lukin and his wife. They're trying to, like, she brought him back from the dead, and they're trying to take over American government. The limits of war and imperialism. There's just all kinds of layers and lots of metaphor. It's good. I like it. But Steve is at the center of it, even though he's like kind of carried along on a wave of what's happening, and the other people around him who are kind of girding him up to do what he needs to do. He's at the center of it. And I know you probably don't like it, but there's a constant internal text box monologue.
There is. That is true.
And that puts you like right, even though there's so many characters, there's so much shit going on.
Exactly.
But that puts you right with him. Like that puts you, centers you with Cap and being confused when he's confused, and
him and Sharon are having a problem dealing with their trust issues also.
Oh yes.
I mean, she has something going on. She's been working with the Daughters of Liberty, right?
Right. Exactly. And she and the leader of the Daughters of Liberty has been forcing her to keep a secret from Steve this whole time, and that's been a point of friction. You know, this. This is stuff that's issues, obviously months and months and months old. But I just don't want to give too much spoily shit.
So I want everybody to know, at the store, we have the hardcover of the first 12 issues. And then we have the other 6 issues in softcover form. So if you want to read any of the stuff that we're talking about, I have them already. Plus, I have some of the issues. And I haven't read every single one. I just picked it up, and I'm able to have a conversation with Jeff about it. And, you know, I feel like even if it's in the middle of a story, hopefully you can get caught up and understand something that's going on. It's not the greatest artwork.
No,
I also got into a Twitter conversation.
It's also honestly, it's not the greatest for picking up in the middle. Like,
no, it's not. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we shouldn't be afraid of stuff like that.
But every issue tends to be like, you might jump in and not know where you're at in the overall storyline, but each issue tends to be a lot more interesting and have a lot more dynamics than, like, say, the beginning of Black Panther, where it was very clearly like written to the trade. Like, this is also written to the trade in that, like, all the stories are multiple issues that you have to read them all. But he tends to have things happen in every issue nowadays, which is a vast improvement.
So this picture here, I remember there was a conversation I had on Twitter about it, and this person's like, you know, they're already in the mood to hate on Coates and him doing Captain America. Coates has said some controversial stuff in the past for some people. And they're like, look at this guy just casually, haphazardly holding this flag on the ground. And I'm like, dude, the flag's been trampled. He's obviously picked it up off the ground. To me, that's what I'm seeing there.
Right.
And I'm like, this is like, he's pest. You're not going to screw with this guy when this happens, you know? But, you know, it was a good conversation, you know? I mean, it was a little, a little tit for tat, if you will. But overall, there was no hard feelings. It just, we didn't agree on the exact thing that was going on in this picture.
Yeah.
Also,
and look,
this is maybe a Ross problem. Also,
I'm not a Ross fan by any stretch, but these covers and the Hulk covers,
right,
in the last couple years,
been
great.
Oh, those Hulk covers are amazing.
And almost every single one of these Cap covers has also been great. Like he's just doing.
I think he was doing a great job when he was doing Spider-Man too. Really. I mean, I think he was.
Sure.
How fast can you go through this?
All right.
So Deathstroke. Ooh.
All right, Deathstroke. Similar theme to Deathstroke.
To Captain America.
To Captain America and also Black Panther, which is teamwork, community, family. But it's a little different.
He's a killer. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But from the jump, he's surrounded by his family. He's got his ex-wife, his 2 kids who are alive, and his 1 dead kid.
Who's the dead one? Is it Jericho?
No, Grant.
Oh,
Grant is dead, and Joseph is alive, but
Joseph, Jericho.
Mute because he had his throat cut. But anyway, this is Dennis Cohen. So early on in the series, you get Dennis Cohen. What was this? Issue 11
artwork.
Issue 11, yeah, Sienkiewicz on inks. That was issue 1. The cover. That was issue 1. The cover, the one that you just went past, and then this is Sienkiewicz and Cohen.
And it looks like Christopher Priest is doing his little sort of a Fraser thing still, a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Where he titles his chapters within his comic book and stuff like that.
Yes, very much. He definitely does that.
Wow, look at that! 12 panels, everybody.
Woo! Look at that.
That's good. So what's going on here? What's he trying to do? What's he trying to accomplish?
What's who trying to accomplish?
Deathstroke. He's a mercenary, right?
Well, yes, yeah. But he's always he seems to be at the mercy of he's very reactionary. He's just trying to kill people for money. And then his he's constantly butting up against his affection for people. So the primary conflict of the whole thing is, and that's more Dennis Cohen, I think. The primary conflict of the whole thing is one of morals and ethics, and what does it mean to be a hero? What does it mean to be a villain? What is good? What is evil?
Dude, he's messing those fools up in that car.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very much so.
Chopping arms off, blasting people in the head.
Oh yeah, this was early on in the book when he was still full on into thorough assassin style.
Yeah, double blade.
As the book goes on, this was issue 11. That was a Sienkiewicz to the covers for these. That's a cover of his. And that's a Joe Bennett page, I believe.
Oh, we should, yeah. Anyway, I'm just going with the pictures, but you can tell me what you want to say.
But yeah, no, Joe Bennett. I forgot to get any of the art from Diogenes. What's it? Diogenes Neves.
Yeah. He's pretty good.
I forgot to get any of his, but he was another dude who was doing the art in the early part of the book back in this.
I love this Red Lion character though. He's cool.
He's very much a play on Black Panther. Priest did this a couple of times in this book where he did a very clearly a take on a Marvel character. And Red Lion is essentially like if T'Challa was like an African warlord, president for life, who then happened to come across a super suit. Like he reconfigures one of Deathstroke's like super suits. Because in this version of Deathstroke is not only a genetically enhanced superhuman, he also wears a super suit that has all sorts of techno bullshit going on. And so he loses his suit, and this dude reconfigures it into this techno Red Lion suit. So he's like slashing people up. He's very much...
And if anybody's
he shows up throughout the whole book.
If anybody's going to do a send up on Black Panther, it should be Christopher Priest, because some people think he did the best Black Panther.
He fully is well within his rights to do any take on Black Panther he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you got Joe Bennett, Neves, which I didn't get into, but then you had
these are amazing.
Paguli. Yeah, these are the
Carlo Pagulilan.
Yeah.
That was during the Batman story, if I remember correctly.
He came and went. Like him and Fernando Pazzarin kind of alternated back and forth for the majority of like the second half of the book. But this is another Sienkiewicz cover.
Sienkiewicz is so good. For him to not do more interiors is a crime.
And so that character, if you go back for a sec, character was Rebirth Power Girl, Tanya Spears.
Okay.
And she was involved in the whole like there was a storyline where Deathstroke gave up killing and decided to try to become a good guy, and so
he was wearing white.
He was wearing white, and he had a team of like teen heroes who were his teen team. Like he had his own Teen Titans that he was the leader of, essentially.
Yeah. And they were feuding with them.
She was one of them, and Kid Flash, Wally was one of them. That's created Jericho was one of them.
That created a lot of trust issues in the Teen Titans between Kid Flash and the rest of that team also, because he sided with Slade, and that wasn't cool. Not to Damian. A while,
and then he eventually left. Like he eventually was like, I don't want to. Like he basically became disenchanted with Slade's supposed reformation and said, "I'm out. I'm out." But yeah, this was from an annual, but that was another Dennis Cohen.
Yeah. I'm not a big gun guy. Oh, there's your Carlo book right there. Yeah. I remember. I don't know. This storyline was a little funky.
Pagulian and Pazzarin, they both crushed it. Like they're all of these dudes are very much doing the like Ivan Reyes DC House style of whatever the recent version of the House style. This is Ed Benes and Richard Friend. When I'm like, whoa, throwback. Haven't seen those two dudes in a while. That's like some Wildstorm shit. That's Ed Benes right there.
Yeah. Well, if you got to do a sexy woman, Ed Benes is pretty okay for that.
I guess that is pretty much what he's known for.
Well, everybody's definition of sexy
exactly
is different. But I mean, this is the nicer version of the 90s.
But like I was never I didn't really know Carlo Pagulian or Fernando Pazzarin that well. Like I knew the names, but I didn't know. Like Pazzarin is amazing in this book. He does such great work, and he does a lot of it. Like he's on a lot of issues.
Yeah, well,
so right here, so first you had the Red Lion. Now you have this guy.
And who's this supposed to be?
This is Death Mask with a Q, who is essentially Deadpool.
Oh, this is DC's second Deadpool ripoff.
So he's a guy who Slade meets when he's locked up in Arkham. And this dude is convinced that he's getting transported to an alien planet to fight in their alien war. And like, he's just a crazy guy.
Dude,
he's a totally crazy guy. And he talks to the camera. He breaks the fourth wall. He does. There's a great, if you go like advance a little bit. Oh, no, wait. There we go. All right. So that's very clearly a Deadpool looking. That's my thumb.
Wait a second. Now, Deadpool is a ripoff of Deathstroke.
Correct.
Right?
So go to the next one. All right. So look what he says in this panel.
The key to the universe, Mr. Liefold. Oh, nice. Excellent. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so it's like it's very winky, and
I shouldn't say rip off, but you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think we all agree.
Potato.
Right.
So he's involved in. So what was the other Deadpool rip-off character at DC? It was in Harley Quinn. Was it Red Tool or something like that?
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I remember.
It was Red
that now.
something. Yeah, another Red. Yeah.
So there
Johnson.
are a couple of variants. Dave Johnson did two like cool 60s style psychedelic variant covers. I don't know where the other one went, but
we'll get to it.
That was one of them. And, you know,
that's pretty good. He's not always great, but I like that one a lot.
He's not like doing his best work recently, but that's really good. That was. Oh, there it is. There's the other.
Yeah, that's nice. Anytime you do like that 70s style, I'm usually pretty into it. This is like harkens back to his 100 Bullets more.
Yeah, totally. Very much.
I was
it's like 100 Bullets crossed with Steranko.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something.
Yeah. So is this the last storyline?
Yeah, this is the end. R.I.P.
Is that Dr. Light right there?
Yep, that's Dr. conducting the funeral.
Oh my gosh, that's everybody. What's this? Who's this Deathstroke dude over here?
Pazarine is that's David Isherwood, who was Deathstroke's original like tech guy. He designed his super suit, and then he eventually turned himself into a monster.
All right, one last question. This ape in the suspenders, is that the Ultra Humanite?
Yep. Yes.
Awesome. There you go, people. This is cool. So what, he died, really?
So yeah, I mean, yes, he did. He died.
But he has an out, right?
Don't we all? No, we don't. We all don't, but he did.
That's some good Liefeld there.
But yeah, that's Pazarine too. This dude is just fucking crushing. Like, look how great that looks.
Yeah, that looks good. It's like all the best Liefeld in one picture.
So like the other big theme in this book is Slade's moral compass. Like, is he evil? Do evil and good mean anything? Does his weird moral code even allow for him to possibly be happy? What does it mean to be happy? What does it mean to love Deathstroke or be loved by Deathstroke? Because like he's got his one kid, his other kid. There's a whole storyline where he fights Batman, where it's all about Talia trying to convince him that maybe Damian is his son and not Bruce's, and that's never really completely.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things.
Oh no.
Who knows?
They didn't answer that one. Oh no.
Yeah.
That was the funky story. I remember that one. I was like, what? So it's I thought it was just going to be the thing that gets them together, not the thing that the story together, not the thing that's still going on.
Yeah, and that's kind of what kicks off the whole crossover with the Titans. So that was the last issue. The last issue involves him fighting the Deathstroke from the New 52.
Oh, no way, really?
New 52 Deathstroke comes in. Spoilers, by the way. But whatever. These are
That's
also like a year old.
Pre-COVID.
But yeah, he's got all the crazy armor, and like he's all old, and he comes in and he's like, you see flashbacks to the old universe where he ends up killing Batman.
What?
And he's like, he's got Damian as his son, and he's got Wonder Woman as his wife. Yeah, it's crazy. It's wild stuff.
All right, cool. I got to get back into this. Thank you for teasing me. If anybody is interested, I probably have some of the collections, but not all of them. So, I'm happy to order. All right, let's get back to us. Hey, everybody.
But they also, like the other thing that's similar, the other thing that's similar with Cap is that the plots are very twisty. They're like espionage, intrigue, hidden agendas, secret cabals. Like everything is very, very shady. I like it.
Well, I mean, there's going to have to be a point in time when we get back to a normal superhero Captain America story, or Black Panther, or even Deathstroke. You can't always be these further examinations into who the characters are. You got to scale it back eventually. Are any of these things that we've been talking about, like Black Panther, Captain America, Deathstroke,
but they're all kind of
ever able to get back there? I wonder.
They're all kind of trying to reestablish the character after something like so. The Black Panther series, he's trying to reestablish the character in the context of the movie, sort of, but also he's trying to reestablish Wakanda's entire political structure in a different fashion. So he's changing everything. And then Captain America is trying to recover his relationship with America and with his own understanding of what it means to be Captain America. And so like he's coming back from the Secret Empire and trying to reestablish all of that. And this is Deathstroke Rebirth. It was 50 issues long, but it started with him basically he was reestablishing this history of the character, and there were so many flashbacks to like, okay, this was back. Oh, it was so twisty. That's the other thing. Christopher Priest is a genius, and I love the way that he works, because he'll give you like a 2-issue and then a 4-issue and then a 6-issue and then another 6-issue or whatever. Like and they'll all just roll, but they'll all be contained.
Right.
And he alternates between a long and a short, and
it's good.
I don't know. Yeah.
Long sentence, short sentence.
A lot of people,
long sentence.
A lot of people don't do that anymore. Like that's just not a way that. And he's also really masterful at catching you up without having there's no page in the beginning to say like previously in Deathstroke. He's doing all the work inside of the comic.
Right.
So like there's going to be some Stan Lee style repetition of things that you already know if you've read every issue, and you're like, I get it. But he's
right.
But it's fairly organic. Like I appreciate it. That's one of the things that that's one of the few things that I'm like, yes, that's a thing that I miss. That's a way that comics used to be written, that they're not really written like that anymore.
Just to let you know, and just let the audience know, Dennis Cohen is a follower of our channel. Is there anything you want to say about his art? It's
amazing. Yeah, that like seeing his name on the issues was always super exciting, and especially inked by Sienkiewicz, the two of them working together. Oh
yeah, and they're doing the
great.
Question right now together also.
Oh, yes,
and yeah, they've been doing great stuff for like 30 years in comics now. Jeez, they're old. I'm old.
Well, me too. Yeah, exactly. I've been reading it for that long, so.
Oh man,
yeah.
These guys talk about the Grim Reaper's arm and stuff in the chat. Awesome. Well, those are awesome. That sounds cool. I have been actually enjoying that Captain America that I've been reading, and I'm down all the way. The Black Panther, I feel like I am so lost. There was a long conversation with Aurora and the Black Panther's other woman from space, I guess. I think.
Yeah.
And Aurora is like very understanding, but not.
Yeah.
And there's some cool stuff going on in there, but I feel like I'm missing a lot. Whereas Captain America, it seems a little bit. I mean, I read some of the first issues, like the first arc, and some of the Andy Kubert, but I kind of fell off. But it was easier to come back into that. As far as it's still where it was basically.
Well, that's a book that always has a catch-up page in the beginning.
Yeah, it does. Oh wow, the catch-up page with Black Panther is like, what did I just read? It's like, and he came from space, and it's like, what?
Yeah, at this point, yes, because it's trying to catch you up on 25 issues of crazy shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no way. You need at least 2 or 3 pages on it. And some of the pages are actually explaining what happened anyway. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's good. But I
love it.
The art's better in Black Panther.
And I know that, like, so when they first announced the Deathstroke book, I remember reading an interview with Priest where he said, they were doing this rebirth thing and they were like, they wanted him to get involved. And he was like, I'm not interested in you throwing me on like whatever Black character you want to promote. That's not that's not what I want to do.
He wanted to do anything but a Black character.
Right, like
forward.
Right, he just didn't want to be the guy who only gets the call to write a Black character. But
he writes a Black character that white people like.
Well,
it's like, this is very, very good. I'm reading these steals, and they're freaking awesome. I mean, how this guy. I mean, I understand you don't want to be typecast. You don't want to. Right. You want to be worth something. And it's not. No,
and this
a lot of this conversation goes on in comics, just not so eloquently as we're doing it right now. Like, how did you get the job? Why did you get hired? Did you, Christopher Priest? He's like, yeah, he could at any time got any of those Black characters, but he's like,
right,
I'll sit and wait until you want to call me for something that's not that. And it's not even like saying that those characters aren't good. Yeah.
No, of course. Like, but it's saying that I can write any character and make it good. And clearly he can, because like I'm the last person who is really at this point in my life interested in an anti-hero or a villain or this, like, I don't know. This is just not usually my type of story, but it was super compelling, and it was a great mix of action and plot, and like it was so twisty that, like, I was fortunate in that I was just reading it like back to back just this time. So it can be super twisty if you have enough momentum, and it gets to the it resolves itself, then it doesn't really matter if you have followed every single twist of the story. I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
Excellent. Good. All right. Well,
And obviously, I have never cared about Deathstroke except as far as his involvement in the
funny enough, in the New
Wolfman.
52, when it started up, it was Kyle Higgins writing it, and I think Joe Bennett was doing the artwork. And Joe Bennett's
right.
the Hulk artist right now, right?
And he did some of these. We had some of his art up earlier.
And some of the things that he was doing in that early run of Deathstroke, he was doing like slices of heads, and then you'd see like half the head slide that way, and it was like it felt kind of like Simon Bisley, like it was flatter blades, and they were thicker and wider, and it reminded me of like maybe like a 2000 AD or a heavy metal type artist.
Definitely. And I felt like that was the vibe they were going for.
To hear that those two are the Deathstrokes fighting each other at the end, I like that. I mean, it's a nice little tie into something I actually read. So without too much spoilers, I think I can still go back and read it and enjoy it. Yeah. Thank you for those reviews. You can get these books at Fantastic Comics. We're open Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 5. These are our new hours for now. You can call ahead at that phone number and email, Facebook, all that stuff. You're watching us on Facebook now, supposedly. Not for much longer, though, because we're going to be saying goodbye in just a second. So, Jeff, anything you're looking forward to from that stuff? I know I was Amazing Spider-Man. Avengers has Moon Knight, and I heard that one was good.
I mean, I've already been seeing the memes. I've been spoiled a little bit because I'm in a Moon Knight meme group on Facebook.
What?
It's very funny. I don't know what to tell you. I don't care about Moon Knight, but it's a funny. The memes are funny.
One of my customers is part of a Facebook group that's devoted to Chun-Li's thighs. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like, I should have been a part of that one too.
Yeah.
Oh man, so Moon Knight memes, huh?
Yeah. But so I'm looking forward to that. But wait, did that came out last week? So that I should have that.
Theoretically, you should have had it, but this is the first. It's new to you.
Oh,
this was last week's book. So Marvel for a while is going to be shipping 1 week comic books, the next week trades. 1 week comic books, the next week trades till they get their shipping together, properly with Diamond. Since there was so a lot of people are asking what comics are coming in. These are the comic. So like, what is new that's coming out? Well, the things that are new are the things that were like delayed. So when Diamond said they weren't shipping, that meant DC wasn't putting those comics out. Marvel wasn't putting those comics out. Now DC went and got different distributors to ship their stuff in the meantime, but it was just a few titles here or there. So the Justice League 44 may have come out last week or this week, whatever. It's new now. But at our store, we are caught up. We are caught up to the lack of items that are going to be coming out going forward. If you like Batman, there's plenty of stuff. There's the Joker.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, well, yeah. So the books that are coming out tomorrow or that I have are Road to the Joker War. And that's going to be going through Batman and Nightwing and Red Hood and all that other crap. But, just get the Batman book. And then 3 Jokers is coming out. And then Dark Knight's Death Metal is coming out. And those are going to be the big things. But Marvel kind of told people, hey, don't put out a whole lot of stuff. And even DC and Marvel are ending some titles and only doing the rest of it digitally.
Ooh, I also saw that the end of Lucifer is going to come out as a trade instead of as issues.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Ugh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
So
why do I want? I have all issues. I'm going to get rid of them. I don't want to buy a trade.
Yeah, it's bullshit. So these are some of the things that these are some of the things that we have to look forward to. And then I had a customer actually call today, and she was asking about, what's coming out in the future. Well, that's the problem. These things that we're going to have in front of us are going to be the things that we're going to see. Like Empire is going to come out through Marvel. G.I. Joe Snake Eyes with Rob Liefeld is going to come out through IDW. But they told a whole lot of other people like Sophie Campbell to stop doing Turtles. And she was like, doing a run starting with 100. And, she was like the main guy on it. Anyway, that was
Artiste.
horrible. She's the main person. Yeah, exactly. And
illustrator.
What are we going to get? I don't know. And when are we going to get it? I don't know. But we have a new previews magazine, so you can come in tomorrow and check that out. Anyhow, for Jeff and ATN next week, I will say, he'll be back. He said he'll be back, but maybe not. Who knows? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And next week, we'll be around at the same time and on Facebook and YouTube. And thank you very much for tuning in. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.